and welcome to the Triple Loop Agile podcast. My name is Carl Rogers, and in this series we're going to be exploring a number of topics and ideas and concepts that all contribute to knowledge workers being able to lead effective, happy and fulfilling careers. At Triple Loop Agile, we believe that when people are inspired, organizations become more agile, more resilient, and better equipped to solve real-world business challenges. In this topic today, we're going to be talking about inclusivity in action. This is about connecting the principles of Sociocracy and Sociocracy 3.0 more specifically, and liberating structures. So, when faced with complex adaptive problems, where volatility, uncertainty and ambiguity are rife, the most successful organizations, I posit, are those that prioritize inclusivity, thereby unlocking and harnessing the collective intelligence of their knowledge workers. This is because complexity requires novel solutions, and inclusion ensures that diverse perspectives, backgrounds and experiences all come together, making collaboration not just a team-building exercise, but also a strategic advantage. Have you ever experienced a situation where including diverse perspectives resulted in a novel solution to a complex problem? When organizations cultivate a culture of collaboration and inclusion, they unlock the collective intelligence of their teams, accessing a deeper reservoir of insights, skills, and experiences than the sum of those individuals. This leads to more robust solutions, fostering innovation that a singular perspective may be blind to. In collaborative environments, teams are more able to pivot quickly in the face of new challenges or information. Organizations that harness the power of collaboration are those that have greater potential to remain resilient, relevant, and frankly, ahead of the curve. I'm curious, in what ways does your current organization promote inclusivity, and how has that impacted problem solving? Let's talk about collaborative teamwork as a competitive advantage. And my belief is that teamwork is a formidable competitive advantage for organizations. So I'm curious again, how has collaboration played a role in your professional life? Can you recall a moment when a collaborative approach made all the difference? So there's ample evidence to prove this, that teamwork is a competitive advantage. There's a study by Google's Project Aristotle that the highest performing teams thrive on trust, which enhances collaboration. And by blending diverse and inclusive perspectives, teams ignite innovation, which is a fact highlighted by a McKinsey report showing companies with inclusive and diverse teams are 35% more likely to outperform their peers. So alternatively, or on the other side of the coin, when have you seen a lack of collaboration hinder progress or innovation in your space? The MIT Human Dynamics Laboratory found that cohesive teams could increase productivity by up to 20%. Moreover, Gallup's research indicates that a highly engaged team boosts profitability by 21%. Such collaboration doesn't just fast-track business problem solving, it also fortifies organizational culture. As per a study by Deloitte, businesses promoting collaboration are twice as likely to be profitable and outpace their competitors. In the fast-evolving market landscape, companies leveraging the strength of their teams are better poised to thrive. Let's look at some of the principles then that drive collaboration, or the principles behind collaboration. And at its heart, collaboration is built on the following: shared ownership. So everyone, irrespective of their background or role, has a stake in the decisions and outcomes. Sociocracy 3.0 calls this the principle of equivalence. So involve the people in decisions that affect them, ensuring a diverse and representative mix of voices. And then there's transparency. Open sharing of information, objectives and concerns so that everyone can understand how to contribute effectively towards the whole. If I pause for a moment, how does your team or organization handle transparency? Do you feel empowered with the information you receive? Continuing onwards, the next principle is empowerment, providing teams the autonomy to make decisions while ensuring that alignment within the organization's vision remains true. This is balanced with the S3 principle of accountability. Do what you say you will and accept your share of responsibility for the course of your team and organization. Then there's continuous learning, embracing feedback, iterating and adapting based on collective insights. Effective teams invest in peer development, as well as double and triple loop learning topics for another day, to focus on deeper learning and the values and principles that bring people together. And then there's trust, the foundation for all forms of collaboration. If team members don't trust one another or the process to consent, to challenge, to object safely, the other principles can't be attained. So in which areas do you feel empowered at work? And in which areas do you feel constrained? Let's look at cultivating a culture of inclusive decision-making now. Recognizing the value of inclusivity and collaboration decision-making, how do we go about accomplishing this and building it into our organizational DNA? Let's take 4 methods and concepts that can be integrated together to grow team inclusivity and collaboration in a progressive manner that includes organizational leaders throughout. So Sociocracy 3.0, as I referenced a few times, offers free social technology for effective collaboration at scale and in creating agile and resilient organizations of any size. This is a pattern-based approach to organizational change, which allows for an experiment-based approach to selecting the right fit structures, processes, and practices based on, the unique context, forces at play, and the real business problems to be solved within an organization. S3 provides patterns for organizational design in aligning people to specific domains and circles of action and governance. At a team level, S3 promotes co-creation, consent decision-making, and testing objections being safe enough to proceed. And let's merge these then, or combine this idea with Liberating Structures. This is a library of 33 easy-to-learn microstructures that are used to increase relational coordination and trust. They can be used to quickly build lively participation in groups of any size. Liberating Structures transform the way that meetings and discussions are facilitated, ensuring that everyone is involved in shaping outcomes. How cool is that? Have you ever been part of an organizational team that used any of the methods that I've just described? What was your experience? Please do share in the comments. Teams applying Sociocratic principles and applying Liberating Structures into their meeting formats benefit from decision-making that is happening closest to where the work is being done. They're minimizing friction in their daily work by navigating through tension and actively building the psychological safety of including diverse views and sharing accountability to decisions made within their domain of influence, and the confidence then to challenge ideas to everyone's collective benefit. How do you ensure that every voice is heard during decision-making processes in your teams and your organization? As leaders who may see benefit in this future state for their organizations, but are uncertain of how such a journey can be made progressively and safely, here's a couple of practices that can support you. Firstly, intent-based leadership. This approach, which shifts the paradigm from giving orders to giving control, entrusts teams with the responsibility of action, allowing to state their intent and act upon it once it's clear. David Marquette and Turn the Ship Around is the person to go and read first. And then there's the concept of bounded autonomy. Fully autonomous, self-managing teams are not formed overnight. To ensure that empowerment doesn't lead to chaos, bounded autonomy sets the boundaries which within teams can exercise their freedom, ensuring that autonomy complements alignment. Over time, the boundaries can be widened as the team demonstrates accountability to exercise greater freedoms. If you could introduce just one of the mentioned practices, like Liberating Structures, for example, into your current workplace, which would it be and why? So what steps can an organization take? I'd suggest that we start small. Begin by introducing 1 or 2 microstructures from Liberating Structures into your meetings. Observe the change in engagement levels. These Liberating Structures are meant to be something that you can just start using straight away and experiment with. They don't have to be expert-led. Check out the 1-2-4 all, 15% solutions, and impromptu networking patterns or structures to start with. So that's starting small. Then I think define some domains of influence in line with S3. So circles, the working group or a team, and establish the clear domains of influence and decision-making and activity for these, allowing the members of those circles or teams to understand their areas of influence and responsibility. Again, I'd suggest starting small. Don't try and change the whole organization at once. Michael Sahota has a good article around culture bubbles that you could check out as well and how you might go about starting small. Then thirdly, I would recommend introducing S3 patterns. Consent decision making, testing for objections and focusing on what is outside of people's tolerance is a significant paradigm shift. So the adapt patterns to context patterns, also provided in S3, help give structure to this change. Understand the pattern, understand the context, create a proposal for adaptation, consent to that adaptation, test it, evaluate it, and then evolve. And the core protocols from like Living Greatness can help here as well. Fourthly, go around and set boundaries. Clearly outline the boundaries within which teams operate. This could be in terms of resources, of time, scope, or any relevant metric. Within these bounds, grant teams the autonomy to make decisions and take actions. A good starting point is to agree where a leader gets to decide, or a leader gets to seek advice, or delegates, or is happy just to be informed. Then there are some interesting decision cards you could see from Shift 314 and Michael Sahota as well. Then clarify intent, going back to turn the ship around. Before major decisions or actions, encourage teams to communicate and clarify their intent. As leaders, instead of prescribing exact actions, ask teams, what's your intent? Let's foster some proactive thinking. So lastly, iterate and feedback. Establish regular feedback loops. This could be in the form of retrospectives, check-ins, or any other feedback mechanism that aligns with your organization's culture. So, in conclusion, by understanding the why behind the need for collective decision-making, organizations grasp the long-term criticality of harnessing collective intelligence. This becomes their driving force, amplifying the value of every voice and the innovative solutions that emerge from their inclusion. The how is demonstrated through the principles of S3 Liberating Structures, with their focus on trust, shared ownership, transparency, and continuous learning. They provide the methods that shape this integration, connecting collective wisdom into actionable strategies. The what is the first view of practical steps an organization can take that provide a tangible pathway for leaders to foster a collaborative and inclusive environment. Can you envision a shift in your workplace from control to empowerment? What would that look like? However, this shift is more than just a strategic implementation. It's a journey of cultural evolution. As organizations delve deeper, they move beyond merely adopting systems or techniques. The transformation embodies a profound change in leadership paradigms, from control to empowerment, from isolated decisions to shared ownership, and from rigid hierarchies to dynamic collaboration. In your opinion, what steps can leaders take today to start their journey towards a more collaborative and inclusive environment? It would be fantastic to hear your views. So lastly, for businesses seeking to excel in today's volatile landscape, recognizing and acting upon the synergy between the why, how, and what is imperative. Such organizations don't merely adapt, they can thrive, powered by an environment where every voice matters, every idea holds potential, and every step forward is a collective stride towards a brighter, more inclusive future. I, for one, know that is a place that I would like to be. Thank you so much for your time today. My name is Carl Rogers. This has been the Triple Loop Agile podcast, and I look forward to catching you at the next one. Thank you.